I imagine welcoming community for refugee as one that understands that people of all abilities can make valuable contribution. I came to the wonderful country Australia in 2015 as a refugee. Diversity and Disability Alliance done a couple of courses with them. Now I'm doing a mentor and facilitator with them to support and to help for any background refugee people with disability. So we'll encourage them and we'll work together to reach them goal. Don't give up at all. Keep continuous, keep encouraging, keep supportive to all people who was a refugee.
I imagine a welcoming community for refugees as one that's inclusive, that embraces diversity of perspectives and experiences to help shape the nation. 30% of our population have got a parent or two parents born overseas. If you look at what our mainstream institutions, be it corporate, government agencies, parliament, media, that 30% is not 1% in that leadership. There's so many there, the untold stories of the contributions of the refugees. That's what I want to highlight. If the wider Australian society get to know these individuals, get to hear their stories, then they will know of how much these individuals have made to the society.
I imagine a welcoming community for refugees as one, where we are encouraged to share our experiences and culture through our talents and creativity. I'm from Iraq originally, Baghdad. The community provided me with music lessons and art lessons. That's how I felt welcomed in here. I've been myself a mentee for a long time. Mentors made me think that I have a talent. I can do it. I can go through it. I can be something. So I was in several leadership programs, and I was helping the younger ones learn about what I do in the community. So I taught them about the music programs that I've been to and the art program. They felt like they could do something.
I imagine a welcoming community for refugees as a place of hope, where community champions work with government authorities and guide refugees to find their place in the society. I came in 2011 as a student at the University of Sydney. And then I began my work in the community, supporting refugees and migrants, especially from all countries of the Great Lakes of Africa. And then we extended to other communities as well. It's an important part of a life for one to settle and feel inclusive. The features that should identify such communities is the presence of some individuals. We normally call them in our settlement process community champions. They are people who have heart, people who we say that they are ready to assist them to get a good space in the community.
I imagine a welcoming community for refugees as one which is connected to its humanity, treating people fleeing war and persecution with compassion as people who are seeking their basic human rights. Well, in my role with the Refugee Council, I travel internationally a little bit and also are involved in discussions and meetings and dialogue with people in other countries. And one of the things that I get asked a lot about is what's happening in Australia. Why is it that Australia, on the one hand, has a really positive and welcoming refugee resettlement program, and yet on the other hand is involved in some really hardline, particularly in global terms, some really hardline policies against people seeking asylum. You know, that welcoming and open and diverse society is actually really worth fighting for. People have a real passion for making a success of life in Australia.
If you go through the data, you will find that some of the refugees actually have strived strongly to contribute to the economy of this country. They share with our society and we end up developing together.
We call this home and we want to be productive and we want to contribute.
How they do stuff, you know, how we eat, how we talk, music from our culture, food from our culture.
A welcoming community for refugees is really a welcoming community for all Australians.
How will you contribute to your community?
What small action will you take?
Become a mentor.
Listen to our stories.
Join that committee.
Welcome new Australians.
Embrace new opportunities.
Share this message.